Something we'll always be refining.
Oof.
Exactly.
Ooh. I'm very excited to see what you come up with here.
Well, I mean, I think the token answer is onboarding.
That's what I would have guessed.
Meaning, like, you're always going to be optimizing. You always want to keep improving your conversion. You always want to keep improving your funnel, how many people are able to get to that moment that matters of running that first payroll, or however you want to define it, that success moment in the product. And so I think that's always something that's going to be refined. And I mean, I actually think that, PayCycle and QuickBooks, where we worked in the past, I actually think they had really good first time use and a lot of great designers and product managers. And that was something that I feel like in my 13 years working on payroll at Intuit, we always were working on first time use, and it actually kind of always was valuable because you kind of have to stay on top of it to some extent, right? Because the product keeps getting more complex and things keep getting added, and therefore things keep getting added to first time use. So first time use is always essentially kind of like, it's always degrading and getting worse. So you kind of have to almost always be pushing it back, to stay lean, to make sure people are kind of getting to that success moment fast. Yeah. So even though that's probably the most obvious one, that it is the first one that comes to mind for me.
That's the one that always comes to mind as well.
Yeah.
What I really liked about how we're approaching this here at Salsa is we know all that. We've seen the different versions of our first time uses. We've added benefits and workers' comp, or didn't have that.
We can plan ahead a little bit better, yeah.
So what I'm really excited about is we have all the pieces in place for every partner to decide what is their first time use experience. Mm-hmm. Do I want to force them to enter all the data for filing and paying a worker? Or do I only want to go skinny and just require only the data for being able to unlock paying a worker and then do another
filing later?
Hey, give me your tax IDs, your auth forms, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's another context to some of the other content we talked about of I'm very excited to see how each partner will take, their spin on this.
Yeah, I feel compelled to talk about some of the ways, how we do that. Obviously, we have the customizability kind of in the components, right? So we have our onboarding component, and say, some of our partners, we have a few partners where they already collect bank accounts for the employer. So it would be really weird to have to set up your bank account twice. And if they're a platform that's already collecting bank account, they don't even want it to show up, and look like it's editable or whatever. That's just weird. Or they're I already have banks somewhere else on my platform. We have those options. So in multiple ways, we kind of have the partner data controls, which we have. So, for a given partner, we can say, if you're the one who's controlling employer bank accounts, you can decide, do you want that to show up read-only across all the Salsa experiences? Do you want it to be writable, create, update, delete? Or do you want it to just be straight up hidden, right? Yeah. And so, by artifact of the partner data control, that kind of flows down and configures all the experiences.
Yeah. No matter where they show up, whether it's profile, FTE, first time use.
Anywhere. And then there's also the more kind of fine-grained one, onboarding or the profile components themselves. You can say, hey, I don't mind if at work locations are editable in Salsa, but I'm going to already collect them and send them via the API. So let's just hide this step entirely. Yeah. It's irrelevant to my onboarding.
Yeah.
So I think those are some of the cool ways that we're already seeing onboarding being used. And then now with the new granular kind of steps of onboardings we just released, I'm excited to see the new experiences that the partners are going to be building out. So that's going to be really cool.
Yeah. I'm very how they take the payroll onboarding steps and mix them in with their products onboarding steps.
Yeah.
Maybe you're transitioning to your calendar from your prior calendar, and maybe now is the time to add your staff members for your salon. So you just do the payroll team here, and then a section later your bank account, and a section later your benefits.
Now that we're talking about it, I have to brag about what the team did, because I was so excited and proud.
We don't have time, Scott.
Well, no. Well, now we're talking about it. But with the new onboarding components, I think we're going to do it with all the components, but the new ones are the only ones that we've done it so far. You can now render them. We're going to nerd out here on UI. We're going to nerd out on UI, but essentially,
drawer.
If you wanted to render in a side panel or drawer, versus if you want to render it in a modal, versus if you kind of just want to render it in line. This is something that you and I have been planning for years, right? This has always been the master plan. I had placeholder skeletons in the code base for it, but the team made it a reality. So now you can, as a partner, you can render this in any given way. So the whole experience, the whole workflow adapts. I want it in a modal that's going to show on top of my application. I want it to open in a side peak drawer and everything itself inside of that drawer. I want to render it in line, which then could do those other things. Whereas before we only kind of had the inline mode, but now it's literally like you just pass a property and you can dynamically change it. It's super cool, really excited. I know there's a few partners that have been really asking for modal. I'm really excited to see how this plays out. It's super fun.
This is
yeah,
hot
and
off the
actually,
press.
during the build week, the team's been building out an even better. I had some crappy version of having a drop down for picking the different inline modal or drawer. They had this really cool thing that I told them not to show you until they polished it and made the colors and everything match. If you show this to him now, he's just gonna get distracted and he won't be able to see the coolness of it. He's just gonna be like, but it's gray and doesn't match. So I was like, his OCD will not let him see the power, but they will show you eventually. It's really slick. It's really slick. No, but it's literally like for all the options, like, you know, run payroll, read only, you know, how you can pass the tooltip strings and stuff. They have this really cool pane that opens up where you can literally
You
just
could customize the experience.
and you can just toggle. Like you can so we're gonna be able to give it to partners so they can just like little toggle buttons and have.
Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So they're gonna demo it tomorrow. They're gonna demo it tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, so if the colors aren't done,
I won't say a thing.
Okay.
I'll celebrate the team's efforts.
now I've told you and told them. So.